Hi, I'm Kathleen, Canadian mom of 5, homeschooling 3 of them, ages 8, 11, and 15. Today is Canada Day, and I'm Canadian, so in honor of that, I wanted to share some Canadian books that we are using or have used in our homeschool. So, first we have Canadian Money. This is a scholastic book by Elizabeth MacLeod, and it's nice for if you were teaching our kids about Canadian money, obviously, but especially if you're using an American curriculum for some reason and it has American money and you want to just supplement with Canadian money. So it has colored photos, because of course Canadian money is in color. Introduction. Chapter 1 is the story of money, like why people haven't always used money, talking about trading, how, where money came from, like why did we go from trading to money, that sort of thing, and what the early money was used, what was used for money early on, and what early money looked like. Chapter 2 is bills and banknotes. Interesting fact: did you know that Canada once had $4, $6, and $7 bills? I didn't know that before I read the book. So it shows some what they used to look like. And how they make money. Chapter 3 is about Canadian coins, and basically talks about how, like, there's a little fact here: the Royal Canadian Mint makes 13,000 coins a minute. The introduction of the toonie, which, if you're watching this and you're not Canadian, is a $2 coin. It looks like that. If you're not Canadian, stay tuned for my other videos. They're not all Canadian specific. Collecting coins is chapter 4. It talks about why people collect coins and how to tell if you have something that's odd, and special collector coins that have been made specifically for collecting. Chapter 5 is about using money, ATMs and checks, interest, saving money, investors, but very basic. Chapter 6 is what's ahead for Canadian money. Now, keep in mind, this book was written in 2011, so obviously it's not as up-to-date as it could be. But anyway, it talks about how the security features of the bills to stop counterfeiting and what that means, but all the different things that are made in the bill, and the fact that they were talking about using $5 coins possibly in the future. So I recommend this one for sure. This one is less a book and more a booklet. It's called Symbols of Canada, and it's just a thin booklet. It's from Canadian Heritage, like the Government of Canada. So it's not a book you can buy in a bookstore. I believe we've had it for a long time, but I believe we ordered it for free off of one of the government websites, probably at one called Canadian Heritage. So whether it's still available, I don't know. I didn't have a chance to check, but I'll see if I can find it, and I'll include a link in the comments if you can find it. But yes, Department of Canadian Heritage. So first of all, it comes with this. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but folds out more poster. That's it. And it has the provinces and territories, a picture of something famous from there, their coat of arms, the flag, the flower, and the bird, and a few other things on it. So that's kind of cool to put up while you're teaching about Canada. And then everything in it is full color and glossy pages, which I love. So the table of contents, it talks about Canada, Canada and the Crown, O Canada and other Canadian symbols, God Save the Queen, the Commonwealth, La Francophonie, or I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, like the French, historical flags, historical boundaries, Ontario, Quebec, and all the other provinces and territories. There's activity sheets, which you can produce for classroom use or homeschooling, and a symbols chart at the end. So, for example, here's the first page on Canada. Again, it shows the coat of arms and the flag and basic information. Talking about the Commonwealth, governors, Canada, national anthem, symbols. And when it gets to each... Oh, actually, this is really cool, especially for teaching history. The historical boundaries and how they've changed in Canada. So, like, where each province and territory is, what it used to look like. So, for each province, I'm just going to show you Ontario because that's where I'm from. Again, it shows you where in the map it is, what shape it is, basic facts, coat of arms, flag, flower, animal, and tree, maybe? Other provincial symbols, tree, bird, gemstone, colors. And it does that for each of them. So you could use this as a spine for when you're learning about Canada. When each day, or better yet, each week, you go over, say like you do Nova Scotia for this week, then you supplement with other activities that you find on Teachers Pay Teachers, or Twinkle, or Pinterest, wherever else, things that people that you subscribe to. And it does include none of it, by the way. So it's up to date enough for that. And then, yeah, suggestions for classroom activities. So it talks about things that you could do and has pages. So, like, this is the Canadian flags page where they have to write, it's hard to see, but they have to write underneath it which province it's from. Coat of arms, same idea. Which province is it from? Or territory, my bad. And creating your own personal coat of arms, which is something that I think every student has done. And floral emblems, marching them up, things like that. So if you can find that, very good. If not, maybe there's other books that do similar stuff. Okay, 2 books that are okay, but not a necessity. You Can't Do That in Canada, Crazy Laws from Coast to Coast by Bev Spencer, and Crazy Canadian Trivia by Pat Hancock. These are both scholastic as well. They're funny. They're not as educational, but they're funny. So you could add them in a secular morning basket. You could read one from each book every day in June to work up to July 1st, Canada Day, or do it all in July if you school in July, which most Canadians don't, but some the year-round schoolers do. So, for example, the Crazy Canadian Laws, it's illegal to wear a snake in public in Fredericton, New Brunswick, or to carry your pet lizard on your shoulder. Or, you may not legally pay for a 26-cent item with 26 pennies anywhere in Canada. The limit's 25 cents. And if you live in Canada, you know that we don't have the penny anymore. That got gone. So it's a little bit old. But still, the idea that I guess that makes sense. Nobody wants to be counting 100 pennies, but still. And you couldn't build a snowman on a corner lot in Surrey, PEI, higher than 76 centimeters. My kids thought some of these were weird. Some of the laws are slightly adult, so you want to read them out loud, so you can pick which ones you want to do. And the Crazy Canadian Trivia, from the back, it says, for example, the strangest, the Great Outhouse Race, a dog getting a university diploma, and Mosquito Appreciation Day. The biggest, the world's biggest ice cream sundae, largest pumpkin, longest gum wrapper chain. The best, the strongest man in the world, the oldest living person, the world Scrabble champion. The unbelievable, the day Niagara Falls actually stopped falling, and the summer that wasn't. So, these were cute. We didn't read them all. We read some. All right, the last 2 books, which are also scholastic, I actually got for review. So the first few that I showed you are ones that we just got on our own. But these 2 I got for review from Scholastic. So that means they sent me these books, and I'm going to review them on my blog, which I haven't done yet because I just got them. But I wanted to share them with you because it makes sense on Canada Day. So the first one is just like the Canadian Money booklet. This one's Canadian Government. And it says on the back, what's the most important thing about Canadian government? We are. As voters, ordinary people have an important voice in how the country runs. And that's good because government affects many parts of our lives. From your school and your local park to healthcare, immigration, and whether Canada will go to war. Canada is a huge and varied country. Find out how the different levels of government work together to speak for all the people. Get to know the key players at all levels of government. Learn how elections work, why it's so important to vote, and how you can get involved. Find out how laws are made and challenged, and meet some outstanding leaders in government, past and present. Canadian government gives you the inside story on how our country works. So this is also full color. So it talks about governments across Canada, and then it happens in Ottawa, in the provinces and territories, government on your street, so clearly it's talking about federal, provincial, and municipal. Canada's governor generals getting involved in voting. So it shows, here's voting, and it talks about different government parties, that's it. How Canada's government works. The Queen with the Prime Minister Harper at the time, Canadian government. How many MPs and senators every province and territory has. And I'm sure it explains what those are. What a premier is. Members of Parliament. Voting. People who made a place for all women in politics. That's a pretty good spot. In the municipal section, talks about what the municipal government takes care of. Politicians who represent Canada's diversity. So yeah, it's just a little book. And it's by Elizabeth MacLeod, if I didn't say that. But this is definitely going to come in handy in our next school year. And the other one that I got for review, my oldest homeschooled child is going to be doing history this year. With the younger kids, we don't do history per se. We do social studies, which is geography and history together. But we're not really covering wars. But this is the book, An Illustrated History of Canada's Wars by Jonathan Webb. I think this will come in handy, especially with the older one. And the younger ones when they get older. So this, also in color. Well, there's some black and white photos from a long time ago, but also has color. I don't even know how to explain it. Let's see. Where's the chapter book? What? Sorry, I talk wrong sometimes. Contents. That's it. Table of contents. It says, going to war, the Boer War, Boer, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. The Great War, the rise of fascism, the world at war, the Cold War, Korea, peacekeeping, the Gulf War, peace enforcement, the Age of Terror. So I'll just flip through some of the pages. Hard to flip through a hardcover. So it has lots of words and lots of pictures. So I'm looking forward to including this in our history homeschool. So thank you to Scholastic for those last two. They make a good addition to our Canadian books. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Happy Canada Day if you're Canadian. Happy 4th of July if you're American, because it's coming up. And if you celebrate from somewhere else in the world, I don't know when your holidays are, but thank you for visiting. See you in the next video. Bye.